I never stayed long at the boathouse. These yew trees were like the others in the wilderness. They wanted to squeeze their poison into my mouth or drop it down my neck. So I parted their heavy branches and came to the next thing, the lake corner furthest from the house, where the swans came ashore and made their messes. That was a funny coincidence, because the next bit of the path was tidier than anywhere else, with neat flints packed into cement. The workmen must have done it when they built the swimming pool, which was here on the right, behind a box hedge. We used the pool every afternoon in summer, but nobody liked it much. The water was too cold, there were too many people, and the whole place smelled like the rears. In winter we weren't allowed to go near, in case we fell in and nobody noticed. This was an easy rule to keep. Whenever I looked over the box hedge, there would always be a vest someone had forgotten mouldering in the long grass by the diving board, or dead leaves disintegrating in the water, shaped like a question mark. It made the place too sad to bother with, except for one time. It was the middle of winter, and there'd been a frost overnight, so when I woke up, the whole garden was white. White grass, white cedarees, white on the bowed down yew branches. The lake was still spellbound when I set off to walk round it in break, and every leaf in the box hedge by the pool had a rim of fur. I peered over. The water had been frozen as the wind whipped it into little crests. Was it rushing or standing still? Both, and so far I was the only person who knew. I nudged open the gate and sat cross-legged on the paving stones. I couldn't remember anything as beautiful as this, and the harder I looked, the better it was. There were even leaves frozen in some of the waves, little black ones like fossils in a rock, along with grass stems and pointless white bubbles. And a pair of swimming trunks, red woolen ones, twisted like a bloodstain. "What are you doing here, Motion One?" It was Mr. Thwaites, the second master, with his big spitty voice. He'd crept through the gate and was now so close behind me I thought he must be going to kick me. He was always angry and lashing out, unless he thought his wife might notice. His favourite thing was to ask what we were doing, and if we started our answer by saying, "Sir, I was trying," he interrupted us by shouting, "You are trying, boy, very trying." The only good thing was, he thought this was funny, and if we pretended we thought it was funny too, he didn't punish us. I knew it was rude to stay sitting down, and I knew I shouldn't be here, but I was too frightened to move. The word petrified slid onto my tongue, which I just learned meant turned to stone. I shook my head and said, "I'm looking, sir." Looking at what? Mr. Thwaites wanted to know, but he asked more gently than I expected, even though the answer was obvious. "The ice, sir." Mr. Thwaites said nothing, and I could hear the breath whirring through the hairs in his nose. Didn't his wife mind that, and tell him? Then he gave an odd grunt and squatted down beside me. "Very strange," he went on, still quietly, and poking at one of the waves with the metal end of his walking stick. The ice didn't echo quite, but pinged, and the ping raced outwards, hardening in all directions, until it hit the edges of the pool and died. "Yes, very strange," he said again. "You're not going to walk on it, are you?" "No, I wouldn't do that, sir." "I'm sure you wouldn't do that," he said. "You might fall through and drown." His voice sounded tired, as though he was half asleep, or remembering something he didn't want me to know about. "All the same," he went on eventually, "you'd better be going, don't you think?" "Yes, sir," I said again. As we stood up, our shoes left frosty scrapes on the paving stones, and I could see how close we'd been to each other. Not any more, though. Now Mr. Thwaites was holding open the gate, so I could step back onto the path and finish my walk. He showed me we were back to normal again. As I slipped past, I thought he might cuff me round the head, or even slash at me with his stick. But he kept still, and waited until I disappeared. We never mentioned the ice when we saw each other again.